Here we're going to show you some basics on winding a bobbin with specialty bobbin thread and putting the hoop on the machine. So I have the USB stick in and I've got the first couple designs up on it, but I'm going to show you a trick for the bobbin. So bobbin thread is very, very fine. That means you're going to get a lot on your bobbin. I like to take a whole new pack of bobbins and then wind them all up with bobbin thread. There's a variety of different brands. I like one that is not a linty type bobbin thread. It's very fine and slippery. First thing I'm going to talk about is this thread stand. Get one with a metal base. It is just so much easier to put your thread on here. You don't have to worry about spool caps, and it helps also with some of your fussy thread or even metallic thread, clear thread. Not that you're using that with embroidery, but I actually recommend a thread stand all the time. We're going to go ahead and actually thread the machine and use the feature of winding a bobbin through the needle. So just go ahead and thread your machine through the needle. That's what these little parts here are for. Now I'm going to show you a super great trick. We're going to thread the bobbin up and through its hole. I can see the H, so I know I'm there. Make sure you get it right into the groove. Now, do you notice on your bobbins you have that little top part, so the little hat in there, a ridge? So when you start to wind a bobbin, it's going to fill up that ridge first, and then it's going to jump down. Well, when your bobbin is getting low, your machine has a bobbin sensor, and so it's going to sense and tell you, hey, you're out of bobbin, but that whole top ridge has thread in it. So we're going to go ahead and engage it. I'm going to hold my thread up here. I'm going to touch OK. As soon as I touch OK and it starts spinning, I'm going to tap the thread down so it starts to fill the bottom part first. So there's only a couple winds on that top edge. You will know what I'm talking about when you go and get that message, because what it'll do is use up all the rest of the thread, and then there will be only just a couple rounds of thread that you'll take off and then put your new bobbin in. So here we go. We're going to touch OK. It's going to start to spin. Pop it down so it starts filling down below. I'll hold that, make sure it breaks off, and then I'll double check that it actually has no little tail showing at the top. I can even do that right now. Yep, no tail. And also by winding through the machine, it puts a little bit of a resistance, so you have a nice even wind. If you're winding a bobbin with this really fine thread and you're getting kind of some loops and some sticky out things, rewind that onto a new bobbin, and then definitely make sure it's nice and smooth, nice and tight. And because this is really, really, really fine thread, we're putting a lot of yardage on here, a lot more than when you are sewing. So we'll just let it stop when it's done. I've already put in an embroidery needle, so we are set for needles. We've used the multi-purpose tool to kind of get that in and switched over. If you have purchased a sensor Q foot, go ahead and put that on. We'll use the regular R foot that came with it. Here's our nice tight bobbin. So go ahead and wind a whole bunch. I like to wind a bunch and then have those ready. So when you're in the bobbin winding mode, keep going. You'll thank me later. Okay, so same thing, nothing changes for the way the bobbin goes in. There's no tension adjustments that are changed at all. All you have to do is get your embroidery thread on the machine. So we'll take this out. By the way, I tend to pull my threads back out. At the beginning of our sewing videos, we talked about clipping your threads and pulling them down through the needle, and that's more when you have a lot of lint and fluffy threads. Sometimes drag some of that lint up and through the tension areas, so we always like to keep everything flowing the same way. With embroidery, I do not worry about that. I tend to whip that spool off, get that next color on. We'll just thread up with this pretty blue thread here and all the way down. Make sure your needle threader is in prime working condition. If it's bent at all, you're going to wish you had it, because every time you change threads, you are having to thread that needle. So after your machine has turned on and you've okayed the original calibrate hoop, now you can put your hoop on. So go ahead and watch this. I'm pushing it in straight. That foot will usually pop over that. If you need to, you can lift it up a little bit higher with that presser foot up button, if that might help, and it's really thick fabric. But most of the time you don't have to do that. Just go ahead and kind of let it pop over itself. Next, go ahead and find the bracket on this side here, and you're going to push it right into its mouth. And when I say push, I mean push. Use some force. I want you to push that in until you hear a click. To take it off, you're going to push down on this button and pull. Pull with some force. And you'll get really good at this. You'll know how firm and forceful you need to be to get your hoop on and off. If you don't hear that click, the embroidery module will say, hey, please attach hoop, and because it can't tell that that hoop is on. Here's those little clips. When you put those on, they actually have a little tongue, and you can squeeze those into the little holders, and then they can squeeze the part. I've got 2 over here, 3 on this side. If you want, you can put them at the top and bottom. Usually I'm just on the sides here. So let's get in and see how we are going to select stitches, and let's get embroidering a name.